this is Urban Dub. I'm going to take you through a new patch taken from my Serum Rollers Volume 2. If you want to grab the full pack, I've put a link in the description. Let's just get into it, really. So on the screen, we've got Serum. This patch isn't too complicated. It's based around 2 oscillators, some filtering, some shaping, and a little bit of effects. Let's have a listen. So I've got an additional reverb here, which I'm actually going to mute for the time being. It's a Valhalla reverb, but we'll talk about that at the end. Let's check the patch out without the drums, with no reverb. Cool, so let's get straight into it. You've got 2 oscillators, analog BD sine, which is from analog here, and we have saw rounded to square, which is from analog here as well. To make this sound, I've used some filtering, some stuff in the effects section, and some shaping with the envelope. So first of all, let's turn everything off and start with 1 oscillator. So now it's very quiet. If you're watching this on a laptop, you're going to need a pair of headphones, or if you're in the studio, you're going to need to turn it up. So first of all, I've left LFO1 assigned. LFO1 is signed to the level. We've got it on envelope mode, quarter note, and BPM synced. From there, I've used envelope 1 and shaped the sound with an attack of 67 milliseconds, the holds on 0, the decay of 684 milliseconds, sustains on 0, and the release is on 799. Let's add oscillator B, so we get a bit more volume. LFO1 is assigned to the level. It's also assigned to here, but it's not actually being used, so I'm going to turn this off. So the filter, it's set to MG low 24. The cutoff is assigned again to LFO1. You can see the settings there, 323 Hz, 255 Hz. We've got the res at 13%, the panning's bang in the middle on 50%, the drive's quite high on 86%, the fat is on 20%, the mix is on 100%, and both oscillators are routed through the filter with A and B selected here. I've set up an envelope which I've assigned to the fat, so it goes up to 33. So now let's look at the effects section and start turning them on one by one. So we have distortion. I've used diode 1 mode. I really like diode 1 and diode 2. I use them all the time. Envelope 2 is also assigned to the drive here. It's at 52%, and the envelope 2 goes all the way up to the top. So let's quickly look at the envelope. The attack's on 806, the hold's on 0, the decay's on 1, sustains 100%, and the release is on 15 milliseconds. So now let's look at the EQ. Let's turn it on. What I've done here is just boosted the lows and boosted the highs, giving it that smiley shape. Frequency is 210, the Q's 60%, gain's 9.2, that's on the lows. And on the tops you've got 2041 Hz, the Q's on 60%, and the gain's on 10.3 decibels. So let's turn the hyper on. What we've got here is quite straightforward. The rate's on 40%, the detune's on 25, unison's on 3, and the mix is on 12%. So dimension's not being used, the mix is all the way down. Down to the filter. I've used the filter type MG low 6, the cutoff's on 1972, the res is on 0, the drive is on 0%, but I've assigned LFO1 to drive it up to 23, fat's on 0, panning's dead center, and the mix is on full. So LFO2 is also assigned to the cutoff. It's on 2 bars, envelope mode, BPM synced, and anchored, giving it a bit more volume, a bit more drive. So I've got a reverb here, which I've actually got muted, but I'll turn it on, and it's assigned to a macro down here, which we'll go over in a second. I ended up using the third-party reverb, the Valhalla, because I preferred the sound and I had more control over it. So we'll leave that off for the moment. I've got mono mode engaged here, so it's monophonic. And really, there's not much more to this patch. I have assigned some macros here. When you're playing with the sound, you can move them, assign them to your MIDI keyboard. And the FM's not engaged. So you've got sync assigned to the sync of oscillator A. You get your wavetable position, which is assigned to both of them, just so you've got some slight variations. You've got a bit of verb. As I said, I use a third-party one for this demo. So let's have a look at the effects outside of Serum. There's nothing crazy going on. really, I've added a reverb. And so it's a Valhalla Verb. You can check the settings here. I won't go into detail. Take a quick screenshot if you want to be that precise, but it's really about the decay time. Having it at bar length, around 1.2 milliseconds for drum and bass is good. And a bit of pre-delay. I've just done it by ear. And then I've routed that synth to an EQ, just to taste, global EQ. So it's going through a group. Then I've used this plugin called Intensity, which is excellent. Go check it out. But yeah, it adds a little bit more crunch to the sound. And then there's some side chaining and stuff afterwards. Just some general stuff to make space. So there's no additional sub. Subs are all coming out of the synth. As you can see up here, enough bass in this patch. You know, we've got some stuff missing in the mids, but really the drums sit there, the kick and snare, you know, with this type of breaks kind of sitting in that frequency. So it kind of works, you know. Let's have a look at it with the frequency analyzer on and the drums. With the verb. You've got a really sonically rich patch, and there's nothing going on. No major processing, a bit of verb and intensity, which is almost just like limiting it. So to just go over the patch one more time, you've got two oscillators, oscillator A, analog, BD sine, oscillator B, analog, saw rounded to square. It's run through this filter, which is giving it a lot of drive. You've got envelope 1 to shape the sound. You've got envelope 2 to adjust some other parameters. Then you've got LFO 1, which is assigned to many parameters across the synth and the effects. LFO 2, which is assigned to the filter. Mono engaged. I've also set up the pitch bend, so it's plus 12. It's a very simple patch, but very effective. You know, you can use this in drum and bass, you can use it in rollers, jump up, even neuro if you wanna. But you can use it in bassline, you know, rhythm. You know, it's quite a versatile modern sound. But to be honest, it's very simple and it's very effective. There's no unison on, there's no extra stereo information. That's coming from the reverb. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. And yeah, just subscribe, like, share this video. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope everything's good, and I'll catch you very soon. All right, easy.